Alright, the other video got over 1,000 views, so I'm back with a tutorial because I've talked to a few people and they seem to still be struggling with the thrust launches, so I thought I'd come back and explain them a bit further with a controller overlay and a voiceover so you can see what I'm actually doing. But if you go into game yourself and follow along, you'll notice that when you walk into this you sort of get ramped up, which I think is one of the reasons why this is one of the easier ones to pull off in game. But basically with the timing, all I'm doing is timing thrust as I'm running up the ramp, so it's not like immediately as my feet touch, it's more like I think if you time it earlier you can get better launches, but if you're in general in the right timing, you should get a launch. It's more about lining up with this corner here is a good way to kind of get the right angle. And you can see there I didn't get it all the way, but with a bit of practice it becomes quite consistent to at least get the clamber. And you can also do this both ways on all of the fountains, so you can go this way and that will sometimes send you up to like here, or sometimes all the way up to here, kind of depends. It's quite hard to get on top of this and get the chow, but interestingly you can kind of do this off to the side, so you could do it with snipe if you wanted. And like get a shot on elbow. But yeah, I wanted to show off Origin because I thought it was the most obvious one, or the easiest to pull off, and most useful too. But yeah, there's not a whole lot I can talk about other than the lineup and the timing of the thrust. So you want to kind of, I'm aiming for the edge of this and just timing the thrust as soon as my feet hit the or just as my feet start walking up the ramp, basically. And it's the same for the other side, so just aim for the kind of this area with this angle, so like where the golden part of is on the floor, and you should at least get it to a clamber. And it's the same for going off other directions, so just play with the timing and the angle of it. It's a little bit different on this side, on this direction for some reason. I think it's because there's like a little ridge here, so you kind of want to stay to the right of this, because it clips your feet and it messes up the ramp, so I think it's best if you just run like straight out of this. But what's fun about this one is you can do it from a curb slide. You can get it a lot better than that, but that's the general idea, like this, which is quite fun. A nice little connection if you're rushing into the base. Or maybe you were in like the middle of the map and you need to defend a flag, so you're like trying to catch them. But yeah, that's Origin. I'll talk about a few of the others, but the concept is essentially the same. We're looking for something that ramps us up, and we're timing thrust just as we start to hit that ramp with a sprint usually to get the best launch. Alright, moving on to Solitude. We've got this one, which is probably one of the easier ones to do, so I thought I'd show that one first. But basically there's a ramp here, similar to the Origin one. You just need to kind of sprint in thrust as soon as you hit the ramp. And you can use this to get to S4 or the little ledge over here as well. Sometimes without a clamber, other times with a clamber. It's kind of dependent on how you hit it, I think. I think if I'm hitting it slightly too early, I don't get quite as big a launch, whereas if I hit it a bit later, see, I get on top of the light post or whatever that is. The cool thing about this is you can hit it sideways. It's a bit harder because you don't have the sprint momentum. But you can hit it sideways to get up into S4, which is a cool one to have in the arsenal if you wanted to learn it. I haven't put much time into it, but it is possible to do it sideways and backwards, kind of. Like, let me just get it here and then I'll move on, because I haven't really practiced it. You can do it with the climber, but you can also get it without. Sod it, I'm going to move on so I don't waste more of your time. But yeah, it's possible to do it both ways. Moving on to the like slightly less practical ones. There's one here which can get you all the way up to LR. And it's what I do for that is I kind of aim for this corner and line myself up with this. And it's quite a big launch. The interesting one with this is that you can actually go to ledge as well. However, I haven't really got it down. I got it first try there, but to be honest, it's the only lineup I have is kind of aiming for this corner here, like this part, and lining up with this as well, and then like timing a thrust. I missed the ledge there, but I got the thrust, so that one's quite hard. I would say give it some time, put some time into the other ones first. If you find them interesting and fun and want to try and learn more, then maybe go for that one as well. But yeah, I'm going to move on to Lattice just to explain the logic behind how that one works, and then I think I'll call it there. Alright, moving on to Lattice. So with this one, if you've seen my demonstration video, you can see it gets you all the way up to the window. What you'll notice about this rock is the ramp is kind of halfway up the ramp, so it's actually here. And what I'm aiming for when I'm looking for it is this kind of darker marking on the rock, and on the corner I'm running up this area, so this area into this ramp. There you go, first try, through the window. In terms of other things to talk about, so we've already talked about how the lineup and the timing are a factor, but also making sure you go far enough to the right of this. So if you go straight diagonal like this, you probably won't hit it. You have to be kind of, you can't like go straight like this. You need to watch the left analog stick for where I'm aiming as well. So it's a bit trickier. It's hard to talk and do this at the same time, I'm not gonna lie. Don't know how other people do it, but you want to kind of walk up this lower edge and into the steeper edge here. So you might be able to like stand here and do it from here, I don't know, but for me the easiest way to do it has been like running up and doing it this way, but it's still not entirely consistent. Like, it's possible to do quite consistently, but because the lineup is quite specific and the timing is quite slim as well, it's one that you really have to practice to get down to the point where you can hit it like on command. Like, if I focus I can hit this every time, but if I'm sat here talking and doing it at the same time, it's kind of hard to do. And also there's one here which is like less practical. It's more just if you wanted to like snipe someone in crystal, but it's still a fun one to know. But have a play around this rock. There's like multiple ways you can do it. You can do it, definitely do it up here as well, and I'm sure there's like other ramps you can hit. But yeah, just in terms of Lattice, this is kind of like the main area where this trick exists, because there's not a whole lot of curved things elsewhere on the map. But yeah, just have a play around, see what works. You might be able to like figure out a way to do it straight up like this, but I think it tends to displace me in a more unpredictable way if I do it straight up like this, so I prefer to come from like this back corner and curve into it. But yeah, I hope that kind of explains the trick, and kind of gives some context to how practical it is, if it's worth learning. I think it's worth learning if this is the kind of thing that interests you in Halo, but otherwise it might just be frustrating and not really something that you think about using, so it's kind of up to you whether you think this is useful or not. Like, I think it's as useful as you decide to make it. Um, it's all about how you apply these things in gameplay, and if you just don't see the right opportunity to use this in your gameplay, then maybe it's not useful to you. But it's just a thought, and I hope it was helpful in the explanation. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.